Okay, let's do a proper hello. Hello, everybody. How are you? Let's see who's here tonight. Hi, Felice. Felice's son got his driver's license yesterday. He turned 16. So cool. Hi, Marianne. Hello, Jacqueline. Oh, guys. You know, like, I want these in. You know how you just bite off more than you can chew? And you're in something and you just don't even know like how far and you've gone? That would be me. I am literally in my pajamas from last night still. I've gone to get my hair done. I went to get some dinner stuff. Hi, Molly. Molly's just back from Florida. It's very freaking cold here. I'm like in a full-on sweatsuit. How was your trip, Mal? I wanted to build us a nice little website where we could hang out. So I've started doing it with AI, and it is now, it was like hijacked by them and taken from my little Squarespace thing that was just going to be like nice into like a full-blown HTML coded website. And when I tell you that I'm like a Gen X, like drowning in technology, I'm not even kidding. What does it say up at the top? StreamYard has a thing up at the top now? Can you guys see that? I don't want that there. How do I take it off? That's weird. Anyway, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek tonight because I need like some feedback on it. But first, let's get caught up with each other. Trip fabulous. Levi got neutered today. So we're out of sorts here with getting back a little late last night, but you're there. Well, he probably would like you to leave if this is what you're going to do when you come home. Our dog like basically gets into Ryan's suitcase when he was going back to school. And the welcome is just, it's ginormous. Hi, Judy. How was everybody's Mother's Day? Did you all feel like you were celebrated and in festivities? Because my Mother's Day was a little weird. My husband's mom came back from Florida. Well, you can be a mom of pets. You should have seen my Instagram things. Everyone either has or had a mom, came from a mom, knows a mom, is a mom to animals, wants to be a mom, doesn't want to be a mom. We're just going to celebrate everybody. I know it's a tough holiday for some people. Like when you lose a person, it's difficult. But I do feel like there is a time and a place for those of us who mom anyone to get a little celebration in. So it just didn't work out that way over here. We wound up having my mother-in-law here for brunch. And my dad, as you guys, some of you know, fell last week. And he broke ribs this time. So we didn't have Mother's Day. We're we're going to have Father's Day, Mother's Day. We've decided. We're just going to mush it all together into one thing and hope that nothing happens. It's a little insane. On a sad note, Mr. Sexy's wife died, so he's looking for available, mature-minded mate. You're trying, and you might be his type. Oh, I'm sorry. We love Mr. Sexy around here. Is Miss Sexy gonna arrive on the scene? I have a whole page built where we can just put all of our animals on my new website. It's Sunny is on it, and he's like, you'll see, but it's like he's there welcoming all of your animals, and you guys are going to get to post your pictures. It's going to be so cool. I'm really excited about it. One of my favorite parts of what I built or am building. And it's gotten a little out of hand. I think I've kind of lost my marbles, but it's so aspirational what I'm trying to do, and if I can like get half of it to work, I think it'll be great. You've been cooing at him, but you mustn't have been the right tone. Maybe he just needs like a little bit of time, a little time to himself, some sexy time, and then maybe he'll come your way. So Felice, tell us about your son. I saw the picture of him holding his driver's license in front of the Secretary of State and zooming away in a car. It was great. If you want to send me the clip, I'll put it on here. Is it still on your Instagram? It's so cute. I'm going to look and see if it's still there. It may have disappeared if it was a story. Oh, there's a picture. Let's do that. Okay. This is Garrett. He got his driver's license. Is there music on here? Because I got to mute it if there is. There he goes. Bye. Oh, it says happy sweet 16 to our Gigi, G Money, Gary. Is it Gare? He's a loyal friend, a team player, a loving son, brother, grandson, and nephew. Our wild child has grown into a kind, respectful, helpful gentleman. He's a good sport and a pretty darn good driver, even though Mama freaks out a little. We love you, Garrett. Oh, that's great. And there they are together. Felice, you look gorgeous. Gorgeous. I have to have it on mute. I'm sorry. I can't afford to be demonetized. I need the minutes. A little celebration. So cute. The bros. Oh my God. That's a picture. They look like FBI agents or like M6s. What are they called? M6? Like when they're in Great Britain. Is it M6? I don't know. That's who's driving. That's what you're picturing. I still have a picture of Ryan on my phone when he calls me when he's about 3, and I can't change it. Oh, baby. Look at those eyes. Oh, I love boys. Little tennis. They get big so fast. Ugh. From that to a real car. Stop it. I love the hat. Oh, so cute. It's so hard to believe that they grow into like these big, like stinky boys. Oh, so cute. Oh, they look like they're over at Maria's house. That's the kind of car I'm talking about. My son had one that was a Lightning McQueen car. And we also had a Thomas the Train that was like in our living room because we didn't even have furniture. So we just put the track in there and he would ride it. I had a bouncy house in my basement. I'm an insane mother. Aw. So sweet. Oh, happy birthday to Garrett. That was fun. Molly, do you have any pictures you want to share from Florida? Anybody? Still on Insta. So many mazzles. I'm so excited for you, Felice. Oh, I know, Jacqueline. It's so big. You had the Thomas the Train? We did too. Yep. We had a whole train set. My husband went to Green Bay, Wisconsin, which is not close to where we live, to a toy shop. Every couple of years, Thomas the Train, the models that they had like in the stores, they would have to swap them out with like the newer model or whatever. And they had one there that had the track set up already and it was all like nailed down. So everything worked, which is what would work with our kid. He drove up there with a van with a friend and picked it up and came back. And Ryan had like an official Thomas the Train table for all of his choo-choos when he was little that was just like the one in the store. It was very cool. I turned 21 2 weeks ago. I know the feeling. When my son was telling me he was bringing home, they make a certain kind of like almost vodka kind of a drink, but they do it with sweet potatoes in Japan. And he brought a bottle of it home that he bought at the duty free. And when he came back with it, I was like, how'd you get that home? Oh yeah, you can drink. Like it was just weird. It was just weird. You had the same train table. They were awesome. We had every choo-choo. All that stuff we passed down. I had this cute little table and chair set from Pottery Barn. We gave that away. We had so much stuff. I had like a carpet in there like you would see like at a school. Gave that to people. We just passed everything on when he outgrew it. Oh, the joys. And now the toys get bigger and more expensive. Don't they? Molly, do you have any pictures or are you dealing with your doggy? So what's going on, guys? Anything happening with you? Is there anybody that has anything that they want to share that we need to know about? Anybody? Okay. So the brand ESUM, you see it in like professional settings. It's like a pro level brand. And we've talked about them before, and I've showed you guys palettes before. And they've sent me kindly 2 of the things that just came out. So these are from PR. Yes. I had everything for Wyatt and gave everything away, not expecting to have another child. At 45, I had to buy everything new for Garrett. Oh my God. That's crazy. My sister and I shared. Everything was like back and forth. We had like a whole thing. Hello, Rebecca. Rebecca's going to like this one. This is her kind of color story. This is the new ESUM palette that has been curated by one of the artists that work with them. Her name is Aga. And we're going to talk about this color story. The thing that is so fantastic, well, there's like 19 things that are so fantastic about ESUM. First of all, the design. It fits together and closes itself off, so it's really easy to store. When you go to use it, you slide the top off, and then it cleverly fits onto the back here and snaps in. You don't have any ESUM. I bet you're going to want some after today. If you guys like Viseart, they've done a lot of work together, and there's definitely some overlap in terms of quality and just integrity of product. They are mostly educating makeup artists. So Alphonse, who is the absolute brain and everything behind ESUM, it's his artistry, along with his partner, who does the school side of it, and they teach makeup artists. And this is entirely refillable. All of these, I don't want these to go all over the floor like they did last time. Here we go. This piece comes off, whatever. All of the shadows are actually marked, so you know which ones they are, which is very handy. And each one of these comes out. So when you run out of a color, or if you want to move them around into different palettes with each other, which is basically what this is a curated collection from their existing shadows. And we'll talk about why she chose these, but it's such a clever design, and it's so thoughtful in terms of ease of use, not wasting, and replacing only what you like and what you need and what you use. They're magnetic. They can go on anything, but I mean, I can't think of anything that's smaller or just more, I don't know, like easier and compact than this. And because these are used by pro artists also, they have a kit that they have to schlep around with them everywhere they go. And if you can get your palettes down to this, you're in really good shape. So we know that they've done eyeshadow palettes before. I have so many of their palettes. This is the Artistry palette number 4. This is the Elevated Pigment. This is all gorgeous shimmer colors. The pigment payoff on these is consistent delicious. They can use this on television shows. They can use this in shoots. They can use this anywhere because the color stays consistent. They know that it's going to work. They know what it's going to look like. They can go right back, put the same thing on the person for continuity. There's a lot of thought that goes into these palettes that they have. And we'll go through all of them, but this is one of my favorites, like for fun. They do have empty palettes so that you can use one as your, these are the palettes, you know, these are the colors that I want to bring with me if you wind up having more than one palette, which is so nice because I always like kind of pick and choose. You know how you like, oh, I like that one from this palette, and I like the one from this palette. You can do that. You can make them. I know we've shared this one because this one was like the disco dance floor. These are all matte shadows. The pigment is insane, as I said. I mean, these are an artist's dream. These colors come to life. They're all consistent. They all perform the same, which is crazy because you just don't get that, especially like with purples and like some of the ones that are harder to formulate. This one does stain. Wow. Must be what they're using in the Tom Ford lipsticks. Those things stain permanently. Pretty. I don't have any ESUM. I don't have any ESUM makeup, but I do have a set of their brushes. Methinks Danessa studied this packaging. They are both indie artists. This palette, this is the Artistry palette number 2, Intensity. I love the neutral vibe, but this is all shimmers. And this coordinates with this palette, which is just the most gorgeous set of neutrals. They call this the Balance eyeshadow palette. Again, formula, consistent, smooth, great swatches. The colors perform exactly the way that you would want them to. And they don't overpower. You can build these colors. But the way that they cleverly laid these out, you know, I'm going to take that comment on for one sec. There we go. So that you have the shimmer version and the matte version. And look at that. I mean, this to me is the most useful, clever duo ever. It's like taking one neutral, you know, I'd say this is like neutrals. This is a very neutral palette. And these are the shimmers that go with it. So super smart. Just, they understand like what looks good, what people are going to want to use. I think the design itself is just insanely smart. This one is all lip and cheek. These are creams. And these can be combined onto anything. And they also perform beautifully. The eyeshadows are made in Italy. The product that we're going to look at today is made in Japan. This one was Italy also, the lip and cheek. And then this one, this is a gorgeous palette. This one is called the Harmony palette. And this was their kind of first foray out of the box of, you know, from Balance. And they really did such a nice gradient of color so that you really had options to make a look have a lot of depth, because you've really got different intensities here of that same shade family. What I love also is the fact that if I wanted to, I could take this on a trip and not need other things. I think these are phenomenal for travel and just super lightweight, very smart, economically. I think they're a very good deal for the amount of shades that you get, for the packaging, for the fact that you aren't going to have to replace the whole thing if you wind up loving one color and using it all the time. That can be replaced very easily. So I want to make sure I have the right palette staying out here with me. I'm going to leave the lip and cheek out here. They are stunning. Okay. So we will be taking a look at that. But first, I want to show you a 3-year dream. So this box contains every single color that could or would be needed, from the deepest deep to the lightest light. They've proven this. They've done the makeup on people. They have gone far beyond what 90% or 99% of our industry that we all love caters to. And this just darling thing, this is it next to an eyeshadow palette. So thicker and a little bit shorter. This is the Perfect Finish Complexion Book. And this is for pro artistry. I'm going to preface this by saying most of us don't need this many shades. They are going to be making ones for the regular folks who are not artists that will be coming out, I think early next year, early 2027. But I wanted to preview this with you because we have a lot to talk about with it. This is magnetic. And this opens up. And these are all the shades. And this is all that a makeup artist would have to bring with them instead of 9,000 bottles of foundation. They can use the colors that are here to mix exactly what they need. So the idea behind this, and the thing that's hard to see, I'm going to put a picture up here so that you guys can hopefully get a better idea. This is Alphonse working on his campaign for this launch. Truly amazing to think that they could come up with a format like this. These are just like the other palettes where you can take the colors out and put the colors in. You can replace colors. You don't have to buy the whole thing again. All of these are marked, and they've been done in groups, and I'm going to show you. Let's see. So you can see down the side there are some like little word or like numbers that you can see next to those boxes. The first row says R01, O01, N01, W01, R02, N02, W02, and then it says maze. And that is that first row. What does that mean? Well, we always talk about undertones and how people have a certain undertone of their skin, but none of us has like the exact perfect, match with every foundation that we pick. Our skin changes color during the year. You get sun, you don't get sun. It's sort of what's the word? Your skin is unpredictable. And sometimes you'll go to put on a foundation and you're like, is this my foundation? Is this my concealer? That's what happens to me, especially during the winter. Like I'll start to get really pale. And we're sort of at the end of that right now. So these are numbered on here for ease of use. If they're looking for a red undertone, they've got it. An olive undertone, they've got it. A neutral undertone, they've got it. A warm undertone, they've got it. And then they have these correctors on the side here. If somebody needs more of that yellow or more of that orange, crimson, and ebony, so that you can add these to them to adjust the color. The challenge of putting together something that could be multi-use can only be done if you come up with a product that doesn't contain any water, so that there's no like evaporation and things like that that happen to it, and it keeps the product better. Plus, you have the ability to mix these into creams and lotions and anything that you want to get the consistency that you're looking for. It's very, very clever. It's like when we go to the store and we look to see what all of the colors are, and we try and just figure out what the undertone is. You can do that here. So I just think this, instead of carrying all those foundations with like a makeup artist, I think this wins. It's just smart. Let's see what you guys are saying as I eat my hair. Anybody? Hold on one second, guys. So this brand, just so you guys know, is clean, vegan, talc-free, and made in Japan and Italy, this one. The magnetic pans can be swapped out, and it emphasizes thinking about artistry in every product. So there are 32 shades in this, and the strips that I think we're going to be able to get will be by, you know, if you're an olive, you can get an olive strip, I think. And if you're a warm, you can get a warm strip so that you can adjust color. And it's kind of like when we go to color correct, we're going to do it on me today. And you're looking at different shades. When you look at someone's face, they don't have the same color from top to bottom. At least I don't know anybody who does. Like, you have dark spots, you've got red spots, you know, you've got blotches, dark under eyes. There's a lot of things that you can do with a palette, not necessarily this big, but with a nice strip that goes with your skin tone and some adjusters, and you can make it work for the whole year without ever missing a beat or buying anything else, which I think is kind of amazing. So the formula has no water. They call it anhydrous. This is going to be a new buzzword in the beauty community. It's a cream base that melts effortlessly upon contact with skin, warmth, features Ectoin, which we're seeing in a lot of products. Even Prequel just had one with Ectoin. It's hydrating, protecting, and soothing for even the most sensitive skin. So he's really thought about not just the ease of use for the artist, but also for the care of the skin that they are going to. It looks like a mouth-watering box of paint. We're going to have some mouth-watering fun with it, that's for sure. So that's the book. And the formula has no water. One formula, any texture. So what they've done is they've produced something that has a soft focus finish with buildable, breathable coverage, advanced pigment dispersion, which ensures uniformity and true color payoff, lightweight anhydrous base, emulsifies on contact for a smooth, even application, adapts to all skin types and environments, and is formulated with clean ingredients, talc-free, and vegan. So this is a very beautiful formula that you can go from very sheer moisturizer to completely full coverage, depending on what you mix with it, how much you use, the brush that you're using. It's like buying a full coverage foundation in every color and then turning it into the tinted moisturizer that you want or the tinted SPF that you want. These are all things that you can mix in. I don't know about SPF. I'd probably put that underneath. So here's the layout so that you guys can see this a little bit better. Up at the top, it says R ruby, O olive, and you can really see the color distinction from this view. Neutral N, warm W, and then it goes again so that the colors, not only do you have the row, but you have the whole row of all of the ones on the top, if you're a very light skin tone, you're going to mostly be in that territory. And you can color correct. We're going to look at the color wheel, and I'm going to show you how this works because I'm not an artist either. I'm just learning this stuff too. But it makes sense when you see what's opposite that color on the color wheel so that you can cancel out certain colors. You know how like I've seen women with very melanated skin using like a very red, like almost like a lipstick underneath their eyes, and completely snatches and color corrects them when they put their foundation on top. For me, I'm like in the pink. There are people that are in peach or a deeper orange. There's so many different shades, which is why you see down on the right side where our comments are that there's maize and sienna and crimson and ebony for the mixers. I think it's really cool. What do you guys think? Dying to hear your thoughts. Would you buy a strip for yourself when it goes more consumer? Or would you get one of these because you're going to see what I'm going to be able to do with it today? Well, I'm going to ask you that question again. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so we talked about the adjuster shades, but you can also use any of the shades to make adjustments. If you need something a little bit warmer than what you have, you can do that. If you could get to something a little bit cooler, you can do that. I would buy a strip. I already mixed my foundation, so this would be great. Yep, this is going to be, I think, a really interesting hot item for people. I go through these phases where I'm like, I want to be covered up. I can't stand looking at my sun damage. Then I go to the point where I'm like, I'm only on tinted moisturizers. That's it. Then I'm like, I don't even want to wear a tinted moisturizer now. Just give me some kind of like a blurring SPF. But there are times when you want concealer, but maybe not foundation. Maybe you want to do like the Lisa Eldridge thing and do the parts that you need, which I think is what we're going to do today so that we can do a lot of correcting. But I want to be able to show you what this formula can do. And it's not just for pros. I mean, we can adjust our own shades too. And I know we do, usually by throwing in some bronzers was my fantastic idea. Whenever my foundation was too light, I was like, I'll just put some bronzer drops in there. Not real recommended. Okay, I'm gonna bring up the color wheel now. I gotta pull this down. Oops. Let me take this down for a moment. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take the comments down for 1 second, just so we can see. Can I do that? Are the comments on top of the color wheel for you guys? I'll just make them small for a minute. If you look at the color wheel and you see what's across from the color, underneath my eyes, I tend to get like that blue, purple kind of darkness. So if I did like the blue, purple darkness, I would need to go over here and add one of these yellow, orangey kind of colors to cancel out that color. If I have redness, you guys will see a lot of color correctors now go to green. Lots of Cica products that have green in them, people who have rosacea, things like that. This light is killing me tonight. Okay, that's much better. They can color correct with green. If somebody has some bruising, like I'm going to have tomorrow when I go get my microneedling again, and I start having like the green yellows, I'm going to have to go over here to this kind of colors to cancel that out. And it's not just color cancellation. It's also if you want to, highlight an area, you don't need to do it with highlighter. You can be using color. It's just nice to have the reference anytime you want. Pull one up on Google. All the reference charts are there. But you can see that red goes to green, orange goes to blue, and yellow goes to violet. So this is why we see the different color correctors. You guys, I might have to go get this out of my eye. Oh, I think I have an eyelash in my eye. Okay, take 5, guys. I'll be right back. Hello again. All right, we're gonna pull the hair back. It's driving me nuts. Okay. Let's play for a minute. So I have no makeup on. I have some skincare on. Just trying to remember. Probably some SPF. I'm going to give myself a little spritz. If you are dry and you haven't picked this up yet, I highly recommend it. Did anybody pick up any Chura products? Maybe during the Sephora sale or at your Olive Young website? I don't know what is going on with my hair today, but it's driving me insane. Okay. You guys, I used too much purple shampoo and my hair was blue today. I had to go and get like these pieces fixed. I was at Sephora yesterday and they're like, oh, your hair looks so good with the blue in it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give her a call. All right, we're going to try to cancel out my darkness here. So we have like kind of a purpley color, right? So if it's purple, we kind of need to go to more of a yellow color. I don't think I need to go this yellow. So I'm going to look at these colors. And try to decide what I think is going to work here. I should be able to use something like this, but more in my family. Normally, I know that I do pretty well with like a pinky peach. So I'm going to go darker than what I am, but I'm going to go with a warm tone instead. I'm going to use a finger on these because I want to see how it melts. Oh my God. It melts on contact. Wow. Okay. I like that. So this is called Warm 01. I'm just going to take a little bit of it. Oh, I'm very impressed. I was worried that it was going to be like kind of thick and paste-like because it was going to have to be broken down. But if you want to go in and cancel the color, that was one little dip into that warm color that brings a little bit of peach. That's pretty good. I would say that's a definite improvement. Now this part right here is a little bit more stubborn. I'm going to go to the deeper 02 and I'm going to take a little bit of that yellow maize color and dab that directly on this area and kind of combine it with that other warm tone. Let me get one of their brushes. This is the ESUM V29. It reminds me a lot of like the Angie Hot and Flashy. That's really nice. It feels so lightweight on the skin. And I'm going back into that 02. The W02, I should say. And I just want to get the darkness under control. That's pretty good. Let me go into the first W. I want to try to lift this up a little. What do you guys think? You love the spray? Hello. Sylvia's here. We're playing, Sylvia. Okay. I feel like that's a huge improvement. Now, I am a pink undertone, and you can see this first color right here. This is a red, and this color right here is a red. I'm somewhere in between there. So I'm going to probably have to dip into both for my skin. I'm going to use one of their brushes if possible. I think we can work with these. I don't have the perfect brush for them, but we'll try. I'm going to start with a little of the R01, which is the red undertone. And I'm taking this on a brush that I probably shouldn't be, but I am. This is the T47. And I just want to see how far it goes. This is one little dip. This is giving me a nice, even, very light coverage. I'm going to go back in, another dip. And I'm going to put more of the color here on half of my face. That was really a small amount of product. And I still have some definite like purpley vibes going here, and like almost like a, I don't even know what to call this, the like a brown purple. So we've got to try to find something a little bit green for that. So I'm going to go into the olive 01 and take a little bit of this more olivey color. Let's see if we can color correct under the eye. I like the way it melts on my finger, and I have like a lot of control with it. It's definitely canceling out some of that darkness. Are you guys seeing? I'm going to take a little bit of the color that I am, which is the R01. I'm going to take a little bit of R02 also, because I don't think that we're always the same color everywhere. Okay. This side of my face pretty much has product on it now. And we're going to get rid of shadows and put some definition back. what starts to happen when you put a product on like this, at least for me, is my whole face starts to lose its shape. Especially if you're using something that's got like a little bit more coverage to it. Boy, that really does a nice job, doesn't it? Look at that difference. This is going to last forever. I want to try to see if we can get some of my sun damage corrected. So here, it's definitely darker. So we need to make this kind of covered and so we can match this. So if I look over the closest thing that I can get is thinking about blues. I'm going to use a deeper rosy tone here and see if we can get that covered. I think Lisa Eldridge has the right idea when she talks about using that painting technique where you're really just looking at certain areas. I want to lift the color a little bit. Go to R02. That's pretty good. Okay, now I am starting to get this, where I feel like right here is my biggest problem. I want to brighten that. So I'm going to take something a little bit lighter looking. I'm going to go into the neutral number 1. And I'm just going to take this here. I should be looking straight into a mirror, but I want you guys to be able to see. Under here, you can do like a reverse contour situation. And because now that I'm older, this all seems very low. I like to put things up here for my cheeks. So I think about being like on top of this bone instead of carving underneath. Because if I carve this, my whole face is going to go down. So I want to give the illusion here that the shadow is here. And the way you can do that is by really going far back here instead of pulling it all the way forward. So we're going to go to the other side where the bronzers are for me. And I'm going to take the red 05 color, which is going to be all the way over here. I'm taking it on this tiny brush just because we're working on a tiny space. I'm dabbing a little bit of it off. And I want to give a little definition back here. And this is just going into what you would normally think of as like a dark foundation. But because we have this palette, this is going to become my bronzer, my contour, everything. So I'm creating a shadow up higher and going way back here. We need a little bit of something here. So we've got sort of like that number 3 thing going so that I have some structure to my face and it doesn't look so flat take one of these brushes. I'm actually going to go into the neutral 05 first with a little bit of warmth since we're warming the skin. But you can play in any of these areas if you picked one of these up. Or if you wait until they come out with more of the curated colors. But suddenly, they don't look dead, which is so nice. Now this, I want to create a shadow. Shadows are kind of gray. So I'm going to take a teeny little bit of ebony as a mixer with a little bit of the R05 and just get a little definition back. We'll put a little of it here. I want to be careful. But boy, that is smooth. And when I tell you that it feels like nothing is on me, it really feels like nothing is on me. Let me zoom you in a little. This thing always turns off. Probably because it's going to die. My normal camera thing broke and I had to buy a replacement. All right, we're a lot closer now. Now you can see darkness here, lifted here. Cheekbone looks like it's up higher. You can even make it higher than that. I'm just literally going on top of my cheekbone to lift the face. That's pretty incredible. Let's do a little bit more of a shadow here. I'm going to take a teeny little bit of R07. Just give myself a little what the sun would do. I like the control of fingers with this. I have to tell you, when there's a product that melts like that, not where you're getting so much of it that it's like, ugh, gross. Just enough. I mean, that's pretty, this is kind of scary. It looks like a different person. Ah, hi Maria. You can't wait to try. It's fun. I have the eyeshadow one we're going to do too. Hello, Maria. How are you? Hi, guys. So having something like this is going to be versatile for anybody. Do you need something like this? I'm not saying that. I'm saying if this is your bag where you're into like this painting situation and you're always finding that the colors aren't quite right, or you're a different shade when you travel, or it's wintertime or it's summertime and things change, something like this setup is really nice. Plus, I can take a spatula, take some out. I'm going to show you on this side how I can make it into a sheer tinted moisturizer. Going to get a tool. Maybe. I'm going to take a little bit of the R01. And I've got a little bit of it on a palette. And I'm going to take a little bit of, let's see, what do I have here? Take a little bit of the Aestura. And you can mix these together. You can do this with any product. If you want to thin something out by adding a moisturizer to it, especially something that works really well for your skin. When my barrier's compromised, this is the lifesaver that I need. So I'm going to put this on without color correcting first. And it's just smoothing onto my face because it feels just like my moisturizer. We're just getting a little tint. And this is how you would use it as a tinted moisturizer. You can make yourself look dewy, or you can mix it if you're oily, something with oil control. You can put it in with the primer. But you really get a nice smoothing effect that's a little bit more radiant. So you've got control of the glow by your mixing, by what you choose to mix, whatever your mixer is. And you can see I have much less coverage on this side than this side. So if I look at myself, I mean, here we go with that dark, almost kind of purpley color that we have going here. So I'm going to take the olive. I'm actually going to go into like olive 03 because I really feel like we need to lift this. And I'm just going to pat. This very greenish color. It's kind of amazing. I mean, I'm not an art teacher by any stretch of the imagination, but this, as they would say, this shit works. Just lightening up these areas. Want to do the definition thing. Because I use certain colors over here, I am going to match them up over here with something a little bit lighter than I did over here. Just because we're going less contrast over here. There was less coverage that we're dealing with. So this is just a little R04. I just want to pat a little of that. And I'm going to flip the book and go into these deeper tones. I'm going to use R07 with a little bit of crimson and see what we get. I didn't lose as much definition as I did on the first side because I had a little bit more coverage. And you don't have to contour. You can just bronze things up a little. I'm going to go back into olive. You only want to put the color for the correction exactly where the darkness is. And then go back over it to what you're using. It should lift and be the color that you want. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? I think that's a definite improvement. Kind of lifted the shadows, canceled out the darkness. You're like, look at a human again, which is such a nice thing. So this colors that you see over here, even though you think they look crazy, they're not. I want to show you what the mixers will look like. This is ebony. So this is when you're going to add some of that darker kind of black color. There's a crimson mixer. If you're going to need a little bit more of that kind of redness. Then we have sienna. There we go. I mean, you can see these colors look very drastic when you're putting them on like this. But when you're going up against something like that, you need it. Do a little warm 02 here. So these are more peachy on me. So hypothetically, that will take away a lot of that drag that I had. It's kind of amazing. I mean, it really is. Let's try, use a tiny brush. I like really want that gone. Like I want that gone. I think I need a little green here. Their brushes are so soft and they're just very well made. Everything they do has so much care. Like you can feel that somebody actually signed off, you know, like that their name is on this product and that they care. We get so much stuff thrown at us now that when you hear about something that's taken 3 years and they're like a master teacher of other makeup artists, you stand up and listen. I think that that's who you want to hear. So I'm going to go into this row again and give myself a little bronzing and use the R07. Just give myself a little sun where it would hit. Take a little 7 and a little 11. I'm bouncing it on my hand where the sun would hit me. And looking alive again. If you really go up high over here, that's where you get that lift. Now that I have this darker color here, I can go in with something very light back in this family over here. And I can go to like the R01. Decide where my cheekbone is. And just sort of lighten up where I want kind of a shadow to be. And you can really carve it out where you want. It's just so easy to melt. Very cool. Take a little of that orange with a warmer tone. I mean, you could do this until you die. I think we're pretty good. I don't look dead anymore. I look like my face has some life. Take a little bit of this deep, dark red color. Really rub it. Just right here. And you really get like that definition back that you want. It's kind of neat. So the complexion is, I think it's 150. It's not going to be that much when they, obviously when they do the strips or the stacks, I think they're calling it. I do not make a commission on their website, you guys, just so you know. You get 15% off of your first order with them. And that is the Pro Complexion that we've been talking about. Some of the brushes that we've used in there, and their eyeliners are terrific. Two-sided, so you get two colors with the eyeliner, two colors with the lip liner. And this is the limited edition palette that we're going to look at next. This is called Aga's Edit. And I think right now there is such a push, I think, from the makeup industry to figure out a way that they're going to get these young kids back into eyeshadows. And I think that one of the ways they're doing it is by starting kind of neutral, but giving it like a little bit of a twist. So this is the palette. It says 15 stunning shades of mixed finishes, Pro Edition, Performance Wear, and Adherence, clean, gluten-free, talc-free, made in Italy. So what she did was she went into their existing shades. Like I showed you how each of these can come out and you can put them into a palette and make your own. You can do that, or do what she did exactly and buy this one. This is her edit. So what she has taken from their existing colors. And remember, I told you they actually do a really good job of labeling them because you know what's in here. If you're not wild, let's say about like this gold, you can go in and switch it out with any of your other colors. You can make this whatever you want it to be. But these are the shades that she selected. And it's, you know, like kind of that sort of warm to neutral kind of browns. And looking at these, she's chosen 6 matte shades down at the bottom here. And 9 shimmers. So let's do some swatches because you guys know how great I am at the swatching. Does anybody have anything that they want to say? I feel like I'm the only one talking here. Let's put a little lotion on so that we're not scary. I love the fact that they're a small business. Every single holiday I've done videos for them. I don't make any money from them. I don't care. They're out there educating all of these makeup artists, and I support companies that put out really good products for us. And I feel like this is one of them. I really do. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And we're going to attempt to do some swatches here. Okay, so this first row right here, this is going to be matte shadows. I mean, they all pick up very easily. They're like buttery. I still have some on my hand. Get one of those little towelettes. They're so easy, you know? Okay, next row is going to be this row of mattes. And I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. You can see that the color payoff is, it's there. Very smooth. And now we're going to go into some of the shimmers. And I think these are so beautiful. It's like neutral but not boring. You know what I mean? Like normally I'm a neutrals person, so it excites me regardless, but I feel like somebody could get behind that in a neutral way, especially a smooth formula. I mean, those are really pretty. I want to fix this row because I like swatched in the wrong place. There we go. Okay, we're going to go to the next row. It's it's going to be these shimmers. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, these are so pretty. Look how smooth they are, like on my finger, just from touching them. Oh yeah. I am just turning into a swatch queen over here. Never. No one will ever pay me to swatch. Okay, top row. I'm intimidated by the gold. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's an intimidating shade for me. Ooh, but those pearly ones I love. But a yellow gold, I'm going to do these up here. That's quite an edit. It kind of reminds me of like a Natasha palette in Color Story. I don't feel like this is overly warm. I mean, there's a few warmer shades, but I don't feel like this is outrageous for somebody with cool tones. I can already see how I could make this work. I would definitely do like a nude lip on me. I wouldn't pull the coral into it as much, but it's a nice edit. Do we like my swatches today, you guys? I thought that was very, very professional. Said no one ever. Let's see how they perform on the eyes. I'm going to use their foundation as my primer because it's here and I can. Just going to take the neutral 01 color and put some on my lid to make it like a blank canvas. I really do like the way this is melting. Okay. Give that a second to set. Excellent swatches, Michelle. Thank you. Anyone who can say excellent in swatches and Michelle in the same sentence is allowed to come here whenever she wants. I love that. Okay, I don't have a ton of their eye brushes, but I'm going to do a lot of fingers anyway because it's just me. I will use some of them. This is the S33. I'm going to take, just going to be boring and go in and kind of go between these two to sort of get like a little bit of a pinky peachy tone. And I just want a little bit of that just dusted here, just so I have like a barrier between the shadow and the foundation. It's basically just like powdering your eye. Okay, now what I want to do with another brush is just wipe away whatever's left. Because this is less about color and more about grab. I find that like any kind of powder that you can shear out just so that if there's any moisture on there that it will get rid of that for you. Okay. I want to get into here and push this back. is always like my first thing. So I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to look at my mattes here, and I'm going to try to decide what I think looks the most like a shadow. So I'm going to kind of bounce here, I think, between these two with a little of this. And I'm going to look straight into the mirror for this with my eye wide open and just mark the area that I'm going to have to push back. So it looks like it's up here. So when I fake my crease, this is what people are going to see right here. So I want to push this back. And I'm going to take a teeny little bit of it in here just because when I look down, I don't want it to look strange. And I'm still working with the same little bit of shadow that I had. And I'm flicking it out and up. And I'm going to take a little bit of that same color right here just to connect it, to get that little lift going. I'm not windshield wiper motions anymore. I'm pulling up and out. And you can already see like that made a huge difference. Let's do the same thing over here. This eye hangs even lower. Let me just kind of look straight here. Ooh. I get them open and bigger looking so I can get a feel for what I can do. But it's so nice to have these like very reliable mattes. I'm going to take this deeper brown color and just put a little bit here. Not going to the super dark one yet because I want to be able to smoke this out. So I'm just staying with like that middle, less green looking one. Just like a little depth here. So this side right now is going to look kind of goofy. And up here is going to look a little bit goofy because we're working to pull this up and out. So at least we know where we're working. And I'd like to just kind of get an idea. I go underneath. I'm just going to line this. And these shadows are just so like soft and they're not irritating. They don't go crazy on you. Okay, we're going to do these eyes in different colors so that we can try more of them. Do you have those pointer Wayne Goss brushes and you love them? Love seeing other people enjoying them. Oh, I love my Wayne brushes. I am all in on Wayne coming back. I really am. I'm excited about it. Something good has got to happen to that man in business, you know? I think. Okay, so let's look at it. I'm loving this guy right here. I want to go into that. That's a nifty color. It's almost like a like a burnt rose color. I like that one. I like this one right here. Ooh, that's going to be a really pretty like inner corner situation or like a halo eye. I don't know. There's so many options here. Okay. Some of these brushes are not going to be from them. Okay, this is Sonia G. I'm going to go into a little bit of this dark color. And I just want a tiny little bit at the edge, just so I can see where the smoke is going to go. Okay, let's be decisive. I'm going to go here first. It's kind of like, almost like it's almost bronzed, but not quite. Like an antique bronze. And I want this to just sit, not totally center, but on the lid. And I want it to peek out over here. They don't age you, these colors, like they just behave really nicely. Okay, with this one, I think this would be beautiful or that. I'm gonna go here. Get a little bit of that pearl. I'm looking at this like there was gonna be a mirror in here. I'm going right at the edge here. And I want it to kind of blur into the next color. That is just so pretty. These are really like classy with the stay classy, San Diego. These are very classy. I'm going to take a little bit of the matte again. And just really fluff this out. I think the older I get, the less I like severe lines anywhere. Something that's blended is always going to feel better to me than something that is, I don't know, geometric in some way, like harsh ankles or harsh lines of any kind. It's just not my thing. I'm gonna curl, rougher. I love rougher. Rougher just sent me the nicest package, you guys. I cannot wait to show you everything. Okay, this is such a good eye curler. They have two different shapes now. And I love it. I think it's like an upgrade on the last one. Okay, so I'm loving this. I want to do a little bit, like some fun little inner corner lighting. Look in here. This is all good real estate. Not really brighten things up. Their brushes are so soft. And this one is kind of angular, so you get like a very delicate blend. And it's great for up and out. This is the W36. See that angle? I'm using it to my advantage. I can pull out underneath. I can take this with the deep color. If you're like into like a liner, but you want to start going softer, take a little bit of it on the brush, go right behind those bottom lashes right there, and just flick up. And it will give you like the idea of a wing without a wing. See how that just like went, whoop. Do it over here too. A lot of this is having the right tool or your fingers. Okay, we're going to go a little warmer on this side. I am going to try this delightful shade. It's almost got like a, you know, like a desert rose feel to me. That is super pretty. And this color is kind of calling my name. It's almost got a pinkness to it. Good night, sweet girl. I'm just going to highlight right here. Let's do a little inner corner action. Look at all this pinky color. Okay, definitely need some mascara and some eyeliner. Okay. I am kind of feeling a little Bordeaux on this side. Would be cool with that desert rose color. I need like a little mirror. I've cleaned up so well around here. I have like nothing around. Here we go. Okay. Just gonna tight line. This is Victoria Beckham Bordeaux. And I'm going to take one of the ESUM brushes. This is the T07. I'm just going to pull this liner out a little bit. And when I do it in line with the lower lash line. It's a nice stiff brush. And you can even take a little bit of the liner on your finger and put it right behind those lashes. Just get a little of that color lift. On the other side, I was thinking we'd go with the gray, like an ashy tone. And go a little more drama. It's like a very nice alternative to brown or black, especially if you're doing like brown shadows, if you want it to pull cooler or warmer, depending on the liner that you use. This is another one that's great. I really hope they haven't discontinued this. This is Contour Claire. And you can use it to help your line, because it's going to come from this lower part. All right, let's get some mascara on. Use the Victoria Beckham because I don't have the ESUM one handy. They do have mascaras and they do have colors. When you order from Victoria Beckham now, one of the samples that you can get is the mini size of the Vast Lash. It's like my favorite little travel thing. I throw it in my travel bag and I don't worry about like a whole mascara being there. And it's got the real wand. So that turned out really pretty, soft. And this side is warmer, but wearable. I wanted it to go a little bit more toward like a red than an orange. I think we need a little an eye drop. My eyes are so tired that they're like so red. This is the Lumify. I've been staying up so late working on the website. Okay. Let's do a little cleanup. My favorite little Ulta Delight. I just pull straight out from the bottom lash line to clean it. Just to have that lift without the harshness. Same thing over here. You really want to lift from the bottom just to clean it up. I think both of those looks turned out really pretty. It's a lovely arrangement. If you're looking for something that's not a cool brown palette, but it's not too warm, I think this is going to be great for you. I think the performance of these is really beautiful. Love them. Get a little light in here. Oh, I like. And then my little trick, after you get the mascara on, when you have a hooded eye, the part that you see is the closest to your lashes. You take a small amount of your shimmer color and you go in the mirror and you go up against your lashes just right in the center, you'll get a little pop. And every time you open up your eye or move it, you'll see that little pop. And that part doesn't get rubbed off, because what happens with your lids, as you all probably know, is that everything here is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's why it's really important to have some structure here, because this is not going to get blinked off, where you're going to get a lot of wear right here. So I like to make sure I lighten up here and deepen it up here so that the middle can do whatever it needs to do during the day or at the evening. And you can mix and match. This is, you're not married to this. You can definitely do like their neutral palette or the sparkle palette. It's what she took most of them from, you can see. Her thing is magic crystals, and I actually have pictures if you guys want to see them of all of the different stones. Not familiar with her as an artist. I really need to do some research, but let me show you. Those are the eyeshadow palettes. It's a look she did. And that's the artist in action. So, her shades are all described here. It says she was inspired by the luminous beauty of her crystals. Aga's palette features a curated selection of her go-to shades from the Artistry Palette series. The stunning mix of matte metallic and tridescent finishes reflects her signature approach to elevated beauty, perfect for bridal and special occasion looks, while seamlessly enhancing everyday routines. Aga's edit includes 15 shadows curated from ESUM Artistry Palettes 1, 2, 3, and 4, all housed in a sleek, magnetic, limited edition palette, vegan, cruelty-free, talc-free, etc. I'm going to make it so that it looks like I have some kind of a blush on right now. I'm going to use her palette. I'm going to go into that like pinky color. That's going to be pretty. Just tapping off. That's pretty. And it never hurts. Take a little bit of that nude color. They're like very high performance powders, so if you can get away with that, it's a smart thing to do. And then I can also take a little bit of this pearly color. Just for a little bit of highlight. Get a little of my glow back. Oh, I have a new eyeliner new lip liner that I wanted to try. Did I put it away? Oh, I finally ordered the Kulfi. Those are back in stock on their website. Those like nude shades. I ordered a couple of those. Where's the new lip liner? I can't believe this. I was very organized tonight. All right, we're not going with the new lip liner. The new lip liner will have to wait. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yes, no. All right, we'll go with my old favorite. This is Ma Beauty, another indie brand. And I'm going to go into the Lip and Cheek. There we go. Some creams. I'm going to go into this like kind of rose color. And let's go kind of moody. A moody nudie. You can do like a combination of any of these colors. It's such a fun little palette. You know, when you get kind of bored, you can just make your own colors and tap on whatever you want. And then they also make my favorite gloss that's clear. I use this a lot when I'm like making colors. Good night, everyone. Good night. I'm putting a little of the clear. And we have finished a complete ESUM look. Good night. So I love ESUM, you guys, and they definitely have products that you can count on. The color selection, I think that this artist made is quite beautiful. If you wanted to dip your toes in the water, so to speak, you're getting 6 mattes and 9 shimmers. I'm not telling anybody to buy it or not to buy it, but I am saying that I love it, and I have bought them before. I've bought their palettes. This, I think, is like another level, but you have to be kind of nuts. So if you want to wait for the regular one, I totally get it. But if you're somebody that's like really good with color and like you're a painter and stuff, I think you could have a really good time with something like this. It's a great thing to have. And you guys can see it did a ton for me. All right, everybody, I love you all so much. I'm wishing everybody a very good night. And I love you all. See you soon. Good night.